Nikishin with an absolute wipeout at the Tampa blue line, and then Nikishin challenged by Lilleberg, but he'll back off as it was a clean hit. Shot on for the score on the power play. Deflected, and Logan Stankoven with the net front gets the piece, and Carolina gets on the board. This time it will stand. It's 2-1 with 4:08 left and a power play goal for Logan Stankoven and the Hurricanes.
Hi, everyone. It's Canes Corner Podcast. I'm Adam Gold. Thank you very much for spending some time with me as we wrap up the first preseason game. Didn't go on the scoreboard the way we all wanted it to go, but I watched hockey being played in front of me, right up behind me, right there, down there on the ice here at Lenovo Center. I saw it. I was here. That's all anybody really cares about. We saw hockey again. These games don't count. They don't matter. They matter. I mean, if you're Bradley Nadeau, they matter. If you're Charles Alexis Legault, they matter. Heck, if you're Dom Fensori, they matter. We are brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it right there. Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy and his crew, they do a great job. You should check them out for all of your exterior home improvement needs. All right, this is probably the best way to go through the game, because the game in and of itself the outcome of the game doesn't really matter. I thought Carolina was mostly good. I mean, Tampa scored 2 goals, but other than giveaways, Tampa didn't really generate a lot of their own offense. First goal came on a giveaway. Second goal was a power play, and it was a deflection goal. So there wasn't a ton that they generated. Carolina was, again, mostly good. I haven't looked at the analytics of the game, but I mean, I would imagine that it probably favored Carolina a lot. I mean, there were goals in this game for the Hurricanes. They just didn't take. Jackson Blake was, for my money, the best player on the ice, for both teams, other than I thought Tampa's goalie was pretty good. Jonas Johansson was very good. And honestly, that's a game that if we were doing legit first stars, he'd get the first star because he had to make, 30 saves? Got Jackson Blake a few times. By all accounts, Jackson should have had 2 or 3 goals tonight. He didn't have any. Hopefully that will self-correct by the time we get to the regular season. So let's just go through some things. Again, rather than discuss the game, because the game was the game. Again, practice. Let's go through some of the players that we were interested in seeing. And we'll start with the forward group. We got a chance to watch Logan Stankoven play center. And I thought there was a lot of good in the first period. You know, he's got to adjust to not being a winger and to playing with wingers and being a playmaker as much as anything. And then he's got to deal with the defensive side of the puck. And I thought, for the most part, Logan Stankoven was good. You know, when you're just in the flow of the game, you know, he's probably it's just a natural for him to be in the middle of the ice. But I didn't think that he looked out of place playing the position. And what was he? 5 out of 7, I believe, in faceoffs in the third period. He was 4 wins and 4 losses, 4 for 8 in the first period. 0 for 1. He only had 1 faceoff in the second period. Second period was a parade in the penalty box. There were almost 10 minutes of power play time in the second period. And although there was a lot of power play time in the third period too. There's also 4-on-4 hockey in the third period. And but Stankoven ended up finishing 9 out of 16. So he won 5 faceoffs in the third period. And that's good work. Rod Brindamore, I'm sure, is pretty happy about what he saw from Stankoven. I thought his first period was his best period. I thought in the second period there was a little bit of I don't know. Again, because he doesn't kill penalties, and Carolina was shorthanded a little bit. And they didn't come out for one of the power plays. Let the younger guys handle the second power play of the second period. So we didn't see a ton of Stankoven on the ice, that line in the second period. But then he gets the deflection goal and gives Carolina some hope that they could win the game. But I thought for the most part, Stankoven was good. He played 19-23. Again, 9 out of 16 in the faceoff circle, and didn't look to me like he missed any defensive assignments, but I'm not the expert. We'll have to hear from Rod Brindamore at some point to address that. Jackson Blake, as I said earlier, and I gave Stankoven the second star. Yeah, he scored the goal, but he was also a good player tonight. Jackson Blake was the best player for Carolina tonight. You want to see him be able to bury some of these opportunities. He had 3. I mean, I'll bet if I pull up natural stat trick, Jackson Blake had at least 3 high danger scoring chances, although I think one of them was on the power play. Still, you want to see him bury it, but I'm not bent out of shape about it today. You know, if this were a regular season game in Carolina, lost 2-1 to the Lightning, you'd go, man, Jackson, you got to finish those. But I thought he was excellent. And to me, he was the guy that seemed unafraid to shoot the puck. There was the best power play of the night Carolina didn't score on was the first one of the second period. And they had the puck in the zone the entire 2 minutes. And there was just some hesitation to shoot. Like I joked, Carolina was in mid-season, nobody wants to shoot the puck on the power play form. But Alexander Nikishin had a couple of, I think, pretty good opportunities to shoot the puck and didn't. And, Carolina was just passing the puck around looking for a perfect one where you got the extra guy, man. Let fly. Let Nikishin bomb one from the point. Maybe you get a deflection. Maybe you get a rebound, but that's not the way Carolina did it tonight. They did get a deflection goal again late in the third period. Stankoven on the power play. I think it was a Kevin LeBanc shot. Get it, bank shot. Never mind. That was deflected home by Stankoven. Alexander Nikishin got the secondary assist on it. But Blake was good. He looked like Jackson Blake, man. Just hounding the puck, retrievals. He wins so many puck battles. It is uncanny. And we saw it all last year. If there was a scrum in the corner or a battle along the wall, somehow 53 manages to come up with the puck. It is absolutely remarkable. He's got dynamite vision. There were some passes that he made that either teammates weren't ready for, or maybe the puck jumped their stick. I think there was one backdoor pass to Taylor Hall that he wasn't able to put his stick on it, but it was a great feed from Blake, who again to me was Carolina's best player. He played 18 minutes and 54. Again, he led the Hurricanes with 6 shots on goal. I didn't think it was a great night for Taylor Hall, but I ain't worried about Taylor Hall. There was one play in the first period where the puck was being passed around to him, and it was a pass that was going to carry him off the wall, and he was supposed to pick it up and carry it out of the zone, and he left the zone ahead of the puck, and it was met just inside the blue line by Tampa, and I thought, probably want to bring the puck with you, Taylor. But he was a little absent-minded professor tonight at times, Taylor Hall. But again, not worried. He had a couple of good scoring opportunities that he just didn't finish. So those are the veteran forwards. I mean, Carolina had a bunch of guys in the PTOs. Tyson Jost was fine, exactly what you would expect out of Tyson Jost. He had a great opportunity to score on the power play that didn't go. Actually, it was before Carolina had made it 2-1 on the Stankoven goal. just a tremendous opportunity right out in front. Jackson Blake had a good one as well, but we've already discussed that. But Joe's played well. I thought Kevin LeBanc was good. He had a goal chalked off because Jost just couldn't keep the play onside. LeBanc made a dynamite move that ultimately doesn't count because the goal was waved off for offside. But I thought he was good. And Giovanni Smith got in trouble a lot. He fought. He got a 10 minutes misconduct. He had a couple of penalties. He had a kneeing to me. And he might be a solid dude. He looked slow. And I'm not sure. I mean, look, Carolina wants to keep these guys around because they satisfy rules if you have to have a certain number of NHL players around for a game. So to me, you're going to see Giovanni Smith probably play 3 road games. But I don't even believe Giovanni Smith's going to end up being a candidate for Chicago. He just looked like he couldn't keep up with the pace of the game for me. In terms of other forwards, let's talk about some of the young guys real quick. At least one of the young guys. Felix Ungersorum, Noel Gunler, they're fine. I thought Justin Robidas was good tonight, but we're kind of used to seeing Justin Robidas be good. He's a good player. He understands how to score. He works the middle of the ice very well. He's, I think, a very good forechecker. I got no problem with Justin Robidas. I think he's basically a AAA player. He's a minor leaguer, but I think he's a good one. He's a good minor leaguer. I don't think he's really NHL caliber, but you never know. He's still a young guy. Bradley Nadeau, you know there's the shot, right? Because he unleashed it once during the game, and I'm not sure the puck got through or not, but it's just a bullet. So that's his skill. But it's the other things that he's going to have to do well in order to make the team. Talked with Corey Lavalette from North State Journal and The Athletic in the second intermission. He talked about Nadeau really putting in a good forechecking shift. And, yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. He didn't, steal the puck or cause turnovers or anything like that. But I'll tell you one thing you can't do if you want to make the team. If you want to be considered to make the team, you can't give the puck away in your own end. He did that twice in the first period. First one didn't cost Carolina. Second one did. It led to the goal by Emil Lilleberg with 0.8 seconds left in the first period. The shot is great, but Nadeau is going to put himself in contention to maybe be a call-up at some point if he does the other things better. And I thought tonight was not necessarily an other things better type of a game for him. You can't give the puck away. And he did that a few times tonight. So, this is not the game that you're going to say Nadeau put himself in contention to make the team. Because honestly, it's probably the opposite. Good thing is that he's got 5 more games to figure it out. I don't think he's going to play all 5. I'll bet he'll play 3 of them. But he's got that much time to figure it out. Real quick about Blake. And I said this a few times earlier today. For my money, and I think Blake played 4 preseason games last year. The first 3 preseason games, or however many he played, all but the last one, he was dynamic offensively all the time. I don't remember whether he scored or had assists or whatever. He was just noticeably good offensively for the first 3 preseason games he played. And then in the fourth, or the last one, regardless what number it was. He wasn't particularly good offensively, but he was outstanding in the other ways that we noticed Jackson Blake. Hounding puck, getting it back, stealing it from behind, being a general pest. And I contend that it was those moments that opened up Rod Brindamore's eyes to bring him in, put him on the ice. Remember, he started the season. We've been doing this. This is year 8 of the Rod Brindamore era. In year 1, Warren Fogle came out of nowhere, made the team. Seth Jarvis, which was, I guess, year 4, crazy pandemic central year? No, the following year. No, I think it was the, who knows? I don't even remember. It might have been year 4. Yeah, it was year 4. So it was after the crazy pandemic central, where Jarvis made the team, but to be honest, probably would have gone back to the to junior. And then Nino Niederreiter got hurt, Jarvis on the ice, the rest is the rest. So, I mean, it was just an impressive way, but he didn't play immediately. When Nino got hurt, Jarvis got his opportunity and ran with it, or skated with it. Last year, Jackson Blake forced his way onto the roster, forced his way into the lineup, and ultimately forced his way onto the top line. I don't see that for Bradley Nadeau. And again, I think it was in the last preseason game where Blake did all of the things, all the puck management things, all the retrievals, all the hounding the pucks and causing problems. All of that is why he made the team. And I didn't see enough of that for Nadeau, certainly not to counteract the giveaways in the first period. And the other thing is that Nadeau has a skill. His skill is shooting the puck. And there were a few opportunities in the third period where he had great looks and missed the net. If you're going to be a DH, and I'm not saying that's what Nadeau's future is, if you're going to be a DH, I mean, you got to hit the long ball. I mean, those have to be on frame. And the 2 in the third period were not. And again, game 1, nobody's drawing any grand conclusions that it's not happening for him. But you're not going to get unlimited chances to play. I don't think we're going to see too many. We might see the young guys again on Wednesday in the the community game, which is $10. I think $10 tickets. I think the young guys are going to primarily play on the road. So Nadeau played 16-11. Going to have to either bury some shots or you're going to have to play better when you don't have the puck. Now let's go to the back end. If you weren't aware, Alexander Nikishin brings a little...
Shot for the score on the power.
That's not that.
Nikishin with an absolute wipeout at the Tampa blue line, and then Nikishin challenged by Lilleberg, but he'll back off as it was a clean hit and a penalty coming up to Tampa afterwards. Alexander Nikishin, the locomotive, was on the tracks as he absolutely floored Dylan Duke.
What a hit.
Yeah, it was a great hit. He lined him up. He skated from the other side of the rink. Like if Dylan Duke doesn't have the puck, it's a charging penalty. But he's got the puck. He's still carrying the puck. So it was a big hit and noticeable because, Carolina needs that physicality. And he brought it. And there was a lot of good to Alexander Nikishin tonight. I would say, it was really just a B-level game for me for Alexander. But the hit was big. He had a couple of opportunities for one-timers. One he broke his stick on. That was unfortunate. The next one he kind of whiffed on. So that was unfortunate. But I thought he was good. I like the fact that he quarterbacked the top power play unit. He's going to have to get a little bit more decisive with his passing. But that really is about kind of getting to know where everybody is. And it's not like you had the full power play unit. You really didn't. Stankoven, Blake, and Hall, they're all power play players. Tyson Jost isn't. Although, when Jost has been in the lineup, he's gotten second unit power play time at times. But that isn't, Carolina. There's no Aho. There's no Svechnikov out there. There's no Nick Ehlers as well. So it's not going to look completely representative of what Carolina's power play is going to look like. Although there was a lot of, did we shoot? Should we shoot? Should we shoot? No. It seemed like only Jackson Blake was all that interested in shooting the puck in the power play. So he's just going to have to get better and more decisive with his where he wants to go with the puck and move the puck along a little bit quicker. And I think that's, if I was going to criticize anything for him tonight, everything seemed a little thought out as opposed to instinctive. I'm just looking at my notes. I felt he was tentative at the point on the power play. So not that he's going to be quarterback in the first power play unit. I mean, I don't know I would assume it'll still be Shane Gostisbehere to start. But if I was looking at the landscape, I'd say he's going to quarterback the second power play unit. So you still have to get the puck moving around a little bit faster. But again, nobody's going to complain about what we saw from Alexander Nikishin. Charles Alexis Legault, I thought played very well in the first period. Didn't think his game was great the rest of the way, but he had really good moments. I thought in the first period there were two instances. One where he jumped into the rush in transition. Forget who gave him the pass. It might have been Nadeau. And he went down the middle, and there just wasn't room. They kind of squeezed him, but he was pushing the envelope there. He was trying to go for something, and he had an opportunity. So good for him for that. He also had I think a chance really below maybe the right face-off dot that he hit Johansson with the puck. So, he's a defenseman. He's not necessarily a sniper, but that was a finishable shot. At least it was on net. But I thought we saw some good offensive instincts from Legault in the first period. Obviously, his length, his range, he makes plays defensively. There were a couple of opportunities where he stood guys up at the blue line, not physically, but he was there, not allowing the time and space to erase a play. Got his stick on a couple of passes as well. I really liked him. He did take two penalties. One was a roughing penalty from a scrum. Whatever. Did put Carolina a man down. And he also committed a tripping penalty. But there wasn't a ton there. And he was covering, I believe, for Shillington, who had left the man, I don't know, to go try to find it, play another man. I don't remember the circumstances, but he was essentially covering for Shillington, who actually might have just gotten beaten on the play. It ended up taking a tripping penalty, but there was a lot to like for Charles Alexis Legault. And I remember talking to Rod Brindamore before the game, and I asked him about it. And when I mentioned him, Rod's eyes lit up. Now, he only played 15-11. So I don't know if some of that was because he was in the box for 4 minutes, but I'd like to see him play more. And I think he is one of those players that, especially when you consider Slavin, Jacob Slavin, I shouldn't say full name, Jacob Slavin, Keandre Miller, and Jalen Chatfield, all might not even play in the preseason. So another opportunity for Charles Alexis Legault to impress. At the very least, you're going to get preseason games. And I think he's going to end up playing 4 of them. I think I said this last year. Dom Fensori's noticeable all the time. All the time. I mean, he makes some mistakes, and he's small. But, man, does he hustle. He is a great skater, and he just causes issues. If there's no room at the inn, he's not moving out any of the 7 NHL defensemen they've got. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to be ahead of Legault. But, man, Dom Fensori can play. Always, always noticeable. Got my 3rd star. 21 minutes and 37 seconds. Only player who played more was Alexander Nikishin. Fensori ran the Hurricanes' 2nd power play unit tonight. Excuse me. And he also killed penalties. He was a good player tonight. So that's why I gave him the 3rd star. Final player critique, Caden Primo. Carolina got him from Montreal, really to be their 3rd goalie. He's definitely an upgrade over Spencer Martin. There's no doubt about that. No disrespect at all to Spencer Martin, but Caden Primo's better. Wearing his dad's number 55, by the way. That's cool. But my only issue with Caden Primo is, man, teams are going to make him play the puck. And I thought his puck play was messy. At best, it's being kind. It was no bueno. So that's something that maybe he just had a bad night. I don't know if that's like a stated weakness of his game, but it wasn't good tonight. Playing the puck behind the net was not good. He gave the puck away a couple of times, came out to play a puck, and then didn't know what to do with it and just shoveled it in the corner, giving the puck back to Tampa. At that point, he could have just melted it down, but he didn't. Even if you take an offensive or a defensive zone faceoff, could have just melted it down if the puck came in from on the other side of the red line. I don't remember if it did or not, but he just was so unsure of what to do with it. He ultimately dumped it into the corner right to Tampa. So he gave possession of the puck away. But again, I thought if you watch the game, there was a lot to like about Caden Primo. So I think we covered just about everybody. Penalty kill was fine. Power play scored the goal, and there were moments there that they could have had 2 or 3 power play goals. But all in all, for a preseason game, first one out of the box, I didn't hate what I saw from Carolina. Thought they were the better team. But you also don't know what the circumstances are behind that. Tampa got the lead, maybe just kind of sat back a little bit and tried to defend, and they did a good job of that. And their goalie played well. So that pretty much puts a wrap on preseason game number 1. I am Adam Gold. This has been the Canes Corner podcast. We're here after every Hurricanes game. We'll do this again on Wednesday. Remember, we start an hour earlier on Wednesday. It'll be a just after 6 opening faceoff and a 5:30 storm watch. So thank you very much for joining us on the Canes Corner podcast, brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it there. aluminumcompany.com. We'll see everybody Wednesday. Maybe there'll be a different outcome. It should be a lively building as well. Good night.